interview with Mr. Fitzgerald, our head teacher of Parrenthorn High School. Now, sir, have you heard of the Coney situation, and if so, what do you think about it? So you haven't heard about the Coney 2012
Can you
situation?
give me some details?
It's gone viral on Facebook, and it's a YouTube video, a half-an-hour YouTube video. It explains about this man called Joseph Coney in Uganda, who's this, he's not really a tyrant, but he's abducting
a warlord.
A warlord abducting children and turning them into either sex slaves or child soldiers, and they're making them kill their parents and do horrible stuff like this. And this Coney 2012 event is this charity called the Invisible Children that are trying to stop it, because it's been going on for nearly 30 years now, and no one's known about it, and all that stuff about Gaddafi and that, and everyone knows about that, that's gone all over. But this has been going on for quite a while now, no one's really known about it, and that's why this charity comes in, and they've been trying to like make Coney famous. That's the whole idea. So the government will be able to actually have the power or ability to do something about it. And well, there's going to be the night off. What is it called? The
Cover the Night.
Cover the Night on the 20th of April in Manchester, which is where it's like there's going to be a protest supposedly, and
a peaceful protest.
Peaceful protest, yes, supposedly. And stuff like that. And basically, we just want your opinion on what you think of the Coney situation.
The first thing I need to do is get on YouTube and have a look at it and find out more about it. But just from the details you've given me, it sounds disgraceful. I mean, any abuse of children anywhere in the world is completely and utterly wrong. And the ones you've just described, where they've been abducted and made to kill their parents, I say.
Basically, we just want your opinion on what you think of the Coney situation.
The first thing I need to do is get on YouTube and have a look at it and find out more about it. But just from the details you've given me, it sounds disgraceful. I mean, any abuse of children anywhere in the world is completely and utterly wrong. And the ones you've just described, where they've been abducted and made to kill their parents, I say. I do some digging and find out about it. I do have access to YouTube, so I should be looking at that. But the other thing I would say is, you know, as it develops, is there something that schools can do to help raise the profile? A school like this, for example, if that's happening in parts of the world, which it is, do we have a responsibility to to raise the profile among our own students? I would think we probably do, actually. So I'd be interested in pursuing that a bit further.
I mean, like, thanks to this charity, Invisible Children, Obama started to sent in a small deployment of American troops to train train people to police these areas where Coney especially is abducting, but they did it without bringing actually any fighting to America.
So it was about detection and how to
and before because when he came back from Africa, the guy who set up this charity, he was asking all these important people in America, Washington, and they all said the same thing. Just because America's not at risk, they won't do anything. And then what happened was they went around telling everybody and showing everybody this video in Washington and all over. And finally, when they went back to Washington, they agreed with them, and then they got an email from the president and telling them that they'd sent the deployment of troops in.
So it sounds like he's doing a good job in raising the profile and getting action.
But the whole project is to try and they're trying to arrest him by the end of 2012, so they're trying to make him famous so that they can be able to establish it.
Yeah.
Right. So second question was.
Interesting that.
What do you think about the use of social networking sites like Facebook when spreading stories like these?
I think the social networking sites are absolutely fabulous. I'll be honest, I don't use them myself because I think there are some dangers with them. But in terms of keeping in contact with friends and so on, and superb. The question though is about what role do they have in raising issues, and I think it's fabulous really, because there is a lot happens in the world and that you just don't find out about. And one of the strengths of social networking and the IT industry is that it's made the world a lot smaller, and it's made the access to information much easier, so that difficult issues like the ones you're describing today can actually be brought to the attention of the whole world. And when they are brought to the attention of the whole world, I think that, you know, there's usually uproar, like, you know, the famines in Africa and so on and so forth are a typical example. I do think, though, that the policing of social network is so difficult to achieve. We've each of us got to accept some responsibility for how we use it and what we do on it, because it can be abused, not to us about it. And, but in terms of raising the profile of issues around the world, I think there's a role to play, but clearly it needs policing and it needs guidance on it as well. But I think there is a role, yeah.
So do you think social networking use is becoming more positive than negative now?
That's a really hard question to answer, because partially it's because I sometimes just have experience of the negative things. I mean, I sometimes feel I come into school on a Monday morning and we've got an issue because two people have fallen out on Facebook or on BBM or whatever. So I see sometimes the negative side of it, and not always the positive side of it, particularly because I don't use them myself. So the honest answer is I don't know whether that it's getting better or whether it's getting worse. I would hope that as younger people, because it's that group who have been introduced to it at a young age, as they mature, then I would hope that the use of it becomes more sophisticated, more sensible, and obviously they can then ensure that their own children use it in a right and proper way. But it's there to stay, and I do think it's a fabulous piece of technology.
Do you think that there will be a place for social networking in schools?
In the future?
In the future?
Yeah, I do. I think that all of technology and schools, even a school like this one, it can be quite slow to grasp the use of it. And I think it will grow, because the amount of learning that is on the internet now, for example, or that's available through YouTube. We're looking at maths, something about teaching maths on YouTube just the other day, in fact. So I think all of that will grow, but I do know that schools are often very slow to take it on board. At school here, we're trying to use the QR codes to give people access to our website. The work you're doing today, this is going to be on our website. So I think we are doing something, but it's really hard to keep pace with the changes in such a technological world. But I do think that at some point in the future, as it grows, the way we educate young people and what we educate them will change quite significantly in your lifetime.
Alright, and the final question, what do you think are the main challenges facing people using social networking today?
I think self-policing is probably the one, and self-protection, because unfortunately we live in a world where there are people who will try to use social networking sites for their own ends, and I think particularly young people are vulnerable, because young people are very accepting and don't always see the dangers. So I do think we need to be training young people about the dangers. So just repeat your question again for me, so I can get it right.
What do you think are the main challenges facing people using social networking today?
Yeah, I think their own self-protection, because there are a number of inherent dangers, and unless we teach young people what they are and keep teaching them what they are, then they'll be vulnerable, basically. And I think the other thing that we need to do is upskill parents, really, educate parents as to what the children are so proficient at using. I'm a parent myself, my children are older, but my knowledge of the social networking is much less than yours, for example. And therefore I think parents have a role to play in advising the children on what can be a dangerous thing. So the difficulties are about self-protection, really, and making sure that you are safe, the children safe, and continue to be safe.
And that's the end of our interview.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Right.
So what do you think about the Konya campaign?